And here's the other thing too. I can find another woman that can raise my kids, but I'm not gonna. It's gonna be much more difficult for you to find another man that's gonna raise the kids appropriately.
That's what I'm saying. Which exactly why you prove my point. Women have to be alpha.
Myron Gaines wrecks this woman for saying women need to be alpha in this clip from Fresh and Fit as Myron Gaines debates these women over relationships and checks this modern woman for being willing to end her marriage even if it hurts her kids. Let's get in.
There's no such thing as an alpha woman. An alpha woman is simply a masculine female, which the reality is men don't want to date themselves. So alpha women, a lot of times what'll happen is you'll meet a guy, you'll have these qualities of being fairly masculine, competitive, making a lot of money. And then the guy will be like, okay, I'm just going to have sex with this girl and not take her seriously because she's annoying. Because men don't want to have a girlfriend that behaves like themselves.
So what about a woman that has to raise her kids on her own without a man? Is she not an alpha woman?
Well, I mean, that's kind of her fault.
She's a single mom. Yeah.
She should have stuck it out.
Or is it if he like cheated?
Who controls who has sex?
Both. That's
really.
why I keep saying 100%.
Not really. The woman controls who has sex.
Okay.
The man does not. So if a woman lays with a man and has sex with him unprotected and has children, she's effectively decided.
I'm talking about like they got married, they had children, and the guy decided to cheat. So now everything falls on the woman because technically it's her kid, right?
I mean, is she going to divorce him for infidelity?
I would.
I think that's a bad idea.
Well, that's your opinion. This is my opinion.
I mean, I grew up with a single mother. Like my dad was in jail my whole life, so
I'm sure your mom is an alpha woman because she had to handle everything on her own.
That's different.
I mean, that doesn't refute my argument that I think that it's not an intelligent. See, here's the thing. You think it's a good idea to divorce the guy, and I'm going to tell you from a factual standpoint why it's not, and it's actually not just my opinion. You're far better off sticking with the guy because single mother households to be exact, are one of the biggest contributors to degeneracy in the United States. If you look at criminals.
But if you're an alpha woman, then I think your kids will be perfectly fine.
No, they will not, because a woman cannot, you cannot raise children by yourself as a female. And then on top of that, it's very difficult to be the mother and the nurturer as well as the disciplinarian. Women make terrible disciplinarians.
My mother had no choice but to be the alpha female, and I came out perfectly fine. So.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
I think me and my siblings were raised very well by my mother.
In general, single mother households are one of the leading contributors to alcoholics, drug addicts, criminals, convicted felons, etc. All the fucked up shit in the United States, the fucked up people come from single mother households. So my thing is this, knowing that single mother households are not conducive to fruitful children in general, I think it's best to bite your tongue, stay with the man, and raise that child together, because infidelity is not that big a deal to end a marriage, in my opinion.
Well, you're not a woman.
But what if
I'm not saying what if I'm just saying like that's your opinion as a man.
Because it hurts.
No. I'm just saying that's your opinion as a man, and we have our different opinion as women, because naturally we're more mature than men as age goes.
I disagree. Breaking up the relationship makes you immature.
That's you, but scientifically, women are more mature than men.
We're considered 2 years ahead.
Yeah, than the rest of the male population, and because of that, we have to look after our own, meaning our offsprings. And if our offsprings are our, main goal, to make sure that they do the best that they can, that they get the best that they can, we're going to do everything in our power to achieve that.
So let me ask you this.
If a man walks out when they cheat, what are we supposed to do?
He didn't walk out. You threw him out. And my thing is, I'm trying to say this. You're saying you're more mature.
So I'd rather sit down and let a man cheat on me?
Here's my thing. You're saying you're more mature, etc. If you know, statistically speaking, a two-parent household is going to be far more conducive to that child's success. You're telling me that you can't control your feelings, except the fact that, this sucks, but we're going to stay together because it's better for the kids. Okay. I think that's maturity.
So let me switch.
Hold on. Breaking up with him is actually one of the most immature things you could do, because what are you doing? You're operating off of feeling versus what's optimal for the child. What's optimal for the child is you biting your tongue, staying with the man, understanding that your marriage is duty, not your feelings, and being happy. And the two-parent household is what's most important.
So let me flip.
Folks, let me know down below whether or not you agree that women are 2 years more mature than men, because I certainly do not. I don't know where she got that BS from, but no one's gonna believe that, besides for a feminist, because it benefits her, of course. But Myron Gaines is exactly right. Statistically, across the board, two-parent households do amazingly well. I know people who've gotten divorced. I know people who stuck it out despite it being not the best. And, you know, sometimes that's what marriages is. But the alternative, like you're rolling the dice and you're on the losing side if you do this. The odds are stacked against you if you get divorced. So I understand it's, you know, a hard predicament, but these are the choices. So you can either stay where you are, where you're better off, or you can roll the dice and get a more likely to get an even worse option. Like that's the reality of that situation that they're in. And it doesn't make any sense to do this. But hit that like button if you're enjoying the video. It really helps the algorithm. I appreciate it. And let's get back in.
The question on you.
Sure.
If you were married and you had 3 kids, 4 kids.
Sure.
Okay. And your woman were to cheat on you multiple times, you would stick it out, you would stay with her, you wouldn't care if she just...
No, I would not, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Men and women are not the same. A woman cheating on a man is not the same as a man cheating on a woman. I can go have sex with 3 hookers and come back to my wife and love her. If you go have sex with 3 different dudes, you effectively don't love me anymore. That is the difference. Women have sex off emotion. Men have sex off of lust.
Scientifically proven.
But as I keep saying before, that's your opinion.
That's a scientific fact.
That is an absolute fact that men are designed to spread their seed far and wide. We don't have the same emotional attachment to sex that women do.
Yeah,
let me ask you a question. Do you run around and have sex with random dudes?
I plead the fifth.
That's scary. Yeah, I heard
that might be a reason why. Well, let me say this: women in general,
he's right.
Okay, women in general have a very difficult time fucking a bunch of random dudes long term. They might do it for a weekend, they might do it for a spring break, but in general, women are not designed to be promiscuous long term. Men are, however. So you cheating versus me cheating are not the same. If you cheat on me, the relationship is over. And here's the other thing too: I can find another woman that can raise my kids. But I'm not gonna. It's gonna be much more difficult for you to find another man that's gonna raise the kids appropriately.
That's what I'm saying. Which exactly why you prove my point. Women have to be alpha because if they're in that position, they have to make sure that when they take care of their kids are taken care of without the guy in the relationship.
Let me explain something to you. Just because someone is capable of something does not mean that it is optimal.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they have to make sure that they have that in their back pocket. In case of an emergency.
Being alpha?
Like I keep saying, in case of an emergency, they need to have that.
You're better off
ability.
Staying with the man.
I am just saying, in case of that occurrence, they need to have the ability to take care of whoever they need to take care of. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
so because at the end of the day, if a man and woman end a relationship, it's really on the woman to take care of the kids, not the man, as you just mentioned that your mom was taking care of you.
If you divorce a man, right, what happens?
Well, I'm not sure. I've never been in that position.
For the kids, by the kids.
Okay.
So automatically you're going to be taken care of. And as well, why do you get married? For duty, right? For your children. So if you leave your husband,
very true.
What are you doing?
Myron Gaines made the point that it is absolutely different between men and women if one steps out. And he is. One controls the entire encounter, the other doesn't. I mean, it sucks. Women don't want to hear it, but it is. And we feel completely differently about doing the act versus women. We all know if a woman steps out, she doesn't love or respect you at that point. But a guy, oh, he's just being a guy. Yeah, because he's an idiot. Because everyone knows he's more or less programmed to do that. So it's not the same. And this whole alpha talk, no, it is a self-defeating ideology. She would be better off staying submissive, and that would be the best way in order to find another guy to raise your kid. But if you're going to approach another guy as an alpha mom, as a single mother with a kid, that guy's going to look at you and be like, no way am I even stepping near this, and nor should he. So this whole ideology is completely self-defeating. And again, they're rolling the dice and they're getting the worse off odds, and they're saying, well, I got to be able to do it anyway. It's like every one of these women would lose all of their money in one trip to the casino. Like that's exactly how this would play out. It's ridiculous. But folks, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Myron Gaines had to say, wrecking this modern woman in this debate from Fresh and Fit Podcast. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.